Hello you beautiful creatures, how the devil are you? I hope you're well. If you're new here, my name is Lou, or Lucifer, as my friends like to call me. By my friends, I mean my ever-growing army of demons. I am not alone today. I am with the darkness in my life, my everything, Gareth.
Hi.
Every single time. We are not in the bedroom today. No, we're actually treating you to quite a lot of days out, which is always nice. We are at Croxden Abbey. So, if you've had the fortune of going into the Alton Towers dungeon and meeting the judge, one of the trials is that Sweaty Betty stole 5 bottles of the abbot's delicious fruity wine from Croxden Abbey. And this is where Croxden Abbey is. So this was an abbey. I'm actually reading off the board to try and make myself sound intelligent. It was founded in 1176, but then it was taken down by the man, the myth, the chicken legend, Henry VIII. It's true. So unfortunately, Croxden Abbey was kind of left to the elements.
Well, it
was converted into a farm, but it was technically left to the elements, so it's ruins essentially. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of a wander around Croxden Abbey. We might take a few photos, see how they come out. It is a little bit dreary today, so we don't know about that, but yeah, this is Croxden Abbey. So we're going to wander around, read the history to you, let you know what the crack is. Also, before you think about coming here, this is the parking situation. This is literally it. So they haven't got any kind of public parking anywhere, so please just be mindful that if it is a kind of peak busy day, you might not necessarily be able to park up here. BT dubs. Yeah, just gonna have to come back another day, but we hope you have a horrible time in the best possible way. I just thought I would show you the opening times just in case you do want to come, and it's closed for Christmas, guys. Come on, have a bit of respect.
We're here.
Yeah. And then, so where would the vault have been? We will never know. We were just saying these have been recovered and these were a part of the vault. So these are 13th century, but you can see how they've been eroded away by the elements. This is literally...
Oh no, they're not from the vault. They're from different parts of the building.
Oh, are they just called
Yeah.
vault? Right, okay, I see. This is why I'm not a historian and I vlog instead. But this is beautiful. We were literally saying, like, if going to a theme park isn't your cup of tea and you're more into your history, something like this is ideal. Obviously it's not for everybody, but it's just nice to know the history of Alton, because there is actually quite an extensive history. What a lot of people don't know is where the gardens are in the towers, so the theme park, there was actually a massive battle there, and it's called the Valley of the Slain, and it's between the Saxon kings of Wessex and Mercia, and hundreds of people died there. Also, the towers at one point was actually used as a, was it World War II or World War One? World War II hospital kind of place. So again, there's a lot of dark history involved around here, but the fact that all this has been kind of dug up and preserved so you can see it for what it used to be, that's pretty cool.
Abbott's new law.
We're piecing together where the different bits are. So this here, you reckon, is that over there?
Well, no, actually, no. That actually might be the end of the infirmary.
So that's the infirmary over there.
Actually.
No, that seems right. We were just saying as well that the road actually goes straight through the church. So that over there, you can see where I'm pointing, is that bit here. It's nuts. Just saying, so the history of it is the Verdun family from Normandy came here, and he was a nobleman, shock horror, had lots of money, and he was like, oh, actually, maybe I do need to build a Cistercian monastery to save our souls. And this is one of the kind of pictures from when it first opened, but they were known as the White Monks because they actually wore habits that hadn't been dyed brown. And it is said that sometimes you can actually see the monks wandering around. I think some people say there's 70 monks. It's a very specific number, I don't know. They do say that if you do want to come back and do any investigation of any kind, you do have to speak to the owners of the land because it is technically private property. I know that there's a video on YouTube where some people actually tried to come and do an investigation. I don't think they asked for permission and they were basically told, you need to go. Which is fair, it's absolutely fair. You know, at the end of the day, they're just basically trying to protect a heritage site. Like, this is old. This is really old. Like, obviously, I don't think they would have meant any harm, but you don't know who's coming, if you get my drift. But this is massive. Wow.
See where the roof was?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see the outline of it just up there. It is very eerie, I must say. Also, just be careful of your steps. There are a lot of sun drops. This big space is the chapter house. This is where the monks would have assembled. I'm so sorry, I've got the Avengers music in my head. Sorry, big apologies. Yeah, this was the room where they kind of assembled. They would speak business. They would do their teachings in here and have discipline. Apparently, a lot of the abbots, the early abbots, were actually buried in this space. It feels very heavy. They probably don't like me, but that's fine. Yeah, it is a very eerie space. It doesn't feel, personally, it doesn't feel like necessarily peaceful. It just feels really eerie to me. I don't know, could just be me. So you're saying that over there is where the abbot would have stayed?
Yeah.
Right. And then this is your infirmary over here. If you have a crippling anxiety of really big, well, I'm not saying really big drops, uneven ground, like me, this is tricky. Ah. So this is the remainings of the infirmary. I love that. This is a piece of a dying monk is shown on his sick bed within an abbey infirmary. Right.
No, those two legs there.
Yeah.
That's a table.
Oh. That's cool how that's remained.
There's another one there.
Oh yeah, you can see.
Yeah, you see in the drawings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where there's like an altar.
Well, this is, well, a lot of people have said they wouldn't be surprised if people who had the plague came here.
450, so it's just before the Black Death.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, the plague was basically everywhere, you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if it hit Alton. And this is where a lot of the people would have come for helping to die. Just saying that if you do have little ones, please don't let them run around everywhere, because, I mean, it does warn you there is a sheer drop, but it does actually go underneath the abbey. That's cool. So do you think it was for like water or sewage, or was just saying what the stream underneath the abbey was used for, because it's been purposely built? But this is the abbot's lodging. Let's go and learn about the abbot's lodging, shall we? Do you know, I really hope one day that this video ends up like, on some kind of GCSE PowerPoint, because you know you've made it when the abbot was the leader of the monks and the lord of the manor. Fancy. Important guests would have been entertained in these lodgings, which were very similar to a secular lord's house, with a screened passage and hall and a private chamber above. It's like Gareth was saying earlier, all of the lodgings would have been up in the sky. There would have been something there, but it's not there anymore. But this is where the abbot would have brought his guests to entertain them. So this is essentially Alton Towers dungeon. The judge, the abbot, this would have been his digs.
Technically, no. It's a sort of discrepancy with the script.
Oh, because for men it's the bishop, isn't it? And for ladies it's the abbess.
But also, who's the reigning monarch?
Queen Elizabeth.
Who destroyed who dissolved the...
Oh, so this wouldn't have been here.
It would have, but it's still as a farm.
It would have been as a farmhouse, so... Oh dear. Oh, no. Please, for the love of God, if anyone comes to the Alton Towers dungeon after watching this and I'm the judge, do not start arguing about the historical accuracy, okay? I'm just here to entertain. It'd be lovely to see some of you there. I'd really appreciate it. Oh, it's funny. It's so funny. It's just so weird knowing that this used to be like a full building. That sounds really stupid, but I know what I mean. Like there was a lot more here and this is what's left. Like this is what weather and rain and things being unkept does. That's why Warwick Castle is so monumental, because it was bought out by Two Swords and then Merlin, and it's been, you know, rejudged. It's been looked after. But if something's just left, this is what's kind of left. This is very similar to Tutbury Castle. I always make the joke that Tutbury Castle is essentially a brick, because it is. But I kid you not, I had one of the scariest paranormal experiences there, and I will never have that photo. It's on a flip phone, Motorola. Let that sink in for a second. And I put my phone through the bars, and I brought my camera back thinking, nah, I've got nothing on it. There was a face. There was a face staring right back at me, and I will never be able to find that photo again. I am devastated. But if you do want us to go to Tutbury Castle to see if I can try and get that image again, let me know. I'd love to go back. They don't do their paranormal investigations anymore. Some people say it's because it's too dangerous, because the King's bedroom is that active. People were getting injured and bad things were happening. Some people say that it's because people were taking the mick, but it's up for you to decide, I guess.
Section. Here's the tree.
We've sussed it. Go on.
Toilet.
From one of our favourite films, please.
Dog Soldiers. Wandakazi.
Ah, there we go.
I'm in the Kazi.
I'm in the Ghazi. If you haven't watched Dog Soldiers, please watch it. But yeah, this was the toilet. Don't say we don't know how to show you a good time. Okie dokie, so we're now moved on to the other side of the road. I would say I'm sorry that this is such a short vlog. However, it is what it is. You know, we're basically given an in-depth tour of something that's been so weathered away that, you know, it is what it is. It's fine.
The foundations actually of this bit.
Yeah.
Of the foundations, and they would have been buried. Yeah.
So we were actually just saying that the coffins that have been left, I hate the word several because to me it sounds like 7. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4. The coffins are actually from the founders of the church and the benefactors of the church as well. And they're from the 14th century. So this is what's left of their place of rest. Obviously they've been exhumed. You can't just wander up to a casket and think, oh, there's going to be a skeleton in that. No, that's not the way it works. I think it was a case of when...
Child.
Oh, Yeah, I think they just figured that once it had been turned into a farmhouse, they were like, yeah, we got to move these people. But like Gareth said, you can still see in the lighter grass, the bits of rock are the foundations of the front. Well, is it the front of the church, or?
This will be the altar.
So this will be the altar, this will be the back end of the church, and that'd be towards the front of the church. Yeah, so that's the entrance over there, and then you come up around here, and this is where the altar, but this is where the abbot preferred to have the burials for some reason. Not too sure about that. It's a shame what happened, but you know, if Henry VIII wants to marry another broad, what are you gonna do? Well, I'll just make my own religion. BT dubs, all of your monasteries are going to the ground. Cool. Thanks, G. So yeah, this is pretty much it for Croxden Abbey. I'm not upset about that in the slightest. Again, unfortunately, because it has been left to the elements, it's weathered, there's not a lot left of it. However, it's been a lovely like half an hour of discovering and looking around some history that we wouldn't have necessarily known about. There's loads of historical kind of landmarks and buildings. The chained oak is really cool as well. I'm not necessarily going to do a vlog on the chained oak just because it's so small, and unfortunately because idiots have gone down there and played around with it, a lot of the chains have actually fallen out of it. But if you don't know the story, if you've been in Hex, so the story is it the 5th Earl of Shrewsbury? 15th Earl? Oh, I've been saying the 5th. Oh dear. So the 15th Earl of Shrewsbury, the story goes that he was coming back from travelling, and a beggar woman stopped him and said, please, can you spare a coin? I'm in desperate need. I just need some money. He said no, obviously, shock horror. Anyway, she cursed the family and said that she probably wouldn't have said it in these words exactly, but this is what the ride says. For every branch that falls off the old oak tree, a member of the Earl's family would die. Anyway, that very night, a branch did fall, and lo and behold, one of the Earl's family members died unexpectedly. So he decided that he was going to chain up all of the branches on the oak, and that's pretty much where the story ended. However, obviously the Hex Rise says the story didn't end there. There are whispers that there are some places inside the towers that haven't been unearthed yet, so I don't know, they might do something about that. It's true. But yeah, so there's a lot of interesting stuff around the towers. There's a lot of interesting history around the towers. If you want us to do more vlogs like this, let us know. Like, we love going into the, I wouldn't say this was the darker history. It's like history. It's meant to be haunted here, and you can feel it. I think it'd be a lot more eerie at night, but I don't think we're going to come back at night.
Well, you're not allowed.
No, unless you've spoken to the owners. So yeah, that's Croxden Abbey. Like I said, if you want us to do more stuff like this, please let us know. I think we're just going to go around, take a few photos and do a bit of B-roll, but that's about it really. I had a really good time. It's a very nice place to do a gothic photo shoot, I think. But again, if you're going to bring professional like equipment, please just get in touch with the people who own it, get in touch with English Heritage, see what they say, just because it's their property at the end of the day and you've got to be respectful. But we had a wonderful time, didn't we?
Yes, very good. Let me come in. I'm back.
Did we? He's
Yes.
back now. He's back. Yes, we had a wonderful time. I hope you've had a good day. If not, that's okay. Always remember, tomorrow's a new day. See you later, guys. Bye.